Hello, family. I hope all is well. This is Providence from Good the Kindness Girl channel. I hope you subscribed. You are one of the preliminary new people for our restart. It's okay. Um, I wanted to just talk about this, and I find this like so not discussed enough because we live in such a capitalist society. But it is something that is spoken amongst artisans and creatives. So I was meeting with my proposed physical therapist, and so he's in the medical field, right? And I was telling him about, because I don't want to say where I am. Let me see if you could tell from this photo. Anyway, from this video. But I was telling him how it is not seen enough, where we can count on our own people to follow through and do things excellently. And I was telling him that there are many a thing I wish I can not necessarily go outside of my community for. But where it pertains to my health and my safety and stuff like that, I find myself having to be as open-minded as possible, right? See, look at this. He went and lost his life because he wanted to be greedy. He must have been a male. He must have been a male bug. Anyway. And he agreed with me. I was telling him, I was like, in India, right? Somebody's job can be like, I don't know, to make paper mache flowers. They want to make the best paper mache flower that they have ever made, okay? They go into medicine, they want to be the best. They take their time, they think about it, they contemplate it. They still attend to their responsibilities as family members, but they still get their dreams respected, right? Now, case in point, I have a doctor in Guyana, and her name is Dr. Madhu. To me, she's my go-to. Even though I haven't seen her in quite a few years, she's my go-to. And what I appreciate about her and respect about her is her excellence. Like, there's not a time I speak about full career excellence and she does not come to mind, or she does not come up in the conversation. So while I'm having this conversation with the physical therapist now, I'm telling him, like, I had, my baby, my last born child, I had him in Guyana, and she brought in 3 surgeons for me. I still have my womb, right? And just that level of respect and bedside manner and courtesy, that comes from someone who knew that she she wanted to go into medicine, right? If you do not know Dr. Madhu in Guyana, okay, she is an Indian woman, and they opened up a hospital, Balan Singh Hospital, right? And the level of excellence that they operate with, I feel like I'm just forever indebted to her, right? She is just such an amazing human being. And she is the epitome of when somebody knows that they know that they know that they want to do something. And if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it well. That's it, right? I'm a little all or nothing too with a lot of things, like food. Right? I'm all or nothing with food. Like, I make people laugh all the time. They take it all for a joke, but they don't understand how serious it is. Like, if I don't, like, if I, like, say I have a craving to eat something, or I made up my mind already that I want to eat something, and I don't get it, I'm not eating anything. I may have some fruit, and we call it a day, and that's the end of that one. That's how I am, you know. And I know a lot of people ain't like that. You know, you're hungry, but if you're hungry, just eat whatever. Yeah, that's the stuff that gets us in trouble, right? That's the stuff that gets us in trouble in this life. Just taking the damn sloppy second that come your way. No, friend, go find somewhere else to hang out, right? Yeah, I can't deal with it. Thank you. I think I might go inside.
I want to go inside.
I think I might. Look, the rain is coming down on me here.
Yeah, this is how it has been.
Ah.
Like since morning.
I know. This hasn't been nice. Yeah, I might have to go inside. Let me see if it holds up a bit more. I gave it another 1.5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, so excellence is just so important, you know. Like, that's the stuff that gets us in trouble. That's the stuff that gets. I remember I used to do mentoring years ago, right? This is before the babies and all of that, right? And I remember where it was like a week, like within a week, I must have told 7 girls, I'm like, you need to get yourself a dog. You think you want a boyfriend, but you need to go get yourself a dog. Because the thing that you are not realizing is you're trying to deal with what you think is loneliness. And you are getting in the way of proper self-discovery. You are getting in the way of proper self-discovery. When you got too much people and too much energy and too much girlfriends and all of that stuff, you cannot even think clearly. You cannot think clearly. And when you're like that, you become easy prey. You become easy prey. Smooth. Takes nothing. They gotta make you feel a certain way. Bam. Jump, you're done. You're finished. You're turning your life upside down. Right? And that's only because you're not even like focused to realize that it's not something that from early on that you can't handle. But you know, you're governed by absentee. You're governed by like what you think you're missing. That's a place of lack. You know, you're saying I don't have and I need. What do you need? You need nothing but to just stay beautiful. Stay to yourself if you like. What you need? You need Wi-Fi. That you need. Okay, you need Wi-Fi. Okay, not even money. You need, right? Because if you're resourceful enough, right, you may not necessarily need that. But aside of that, yeah, you need Wi-Fi. I remember once upon a time, it would only be Wi-Fi that would drag me out the house. You know, but all of these things eventually they become clear when you're really focused on repairing. So when you're focused on repairing, everything else is going to start making sense, and then you're not. I might have to go inside. I'm sad about that. I really wanted to be in nature. I really wanted to be in nature right now, but I'm glad I was able to come out and make this little video for you, because like I promised you before, we are on this journey together. Good Guyanese girl. I initially started working on this site many years ago. Then after I became a mom, you know, we may have to talk about that. Why every time when you're about to start embarking on something important, you want to be turning up pregnant? You think that's by accident? We live and we learn. We know better now, right? Okay? If somebody wasn't busy trying to ruin my life every opportunity they got, I would have been probably still living in Guyana, working at NCN, giving the news. I would have been able to interview our beloved, you know, ex-President Granger. But I've done other exploits. You know, I was doing my little creative bio the other day, and I thought to myself, like, damn, I have done a lot. And this society will make you feel like you haven't done shit and like you're not about nothing and you're not that important. You don't pay attention to none of that. You just focus, you just continue to walk in purpose. That's it. Right? That's why there's so many busybody men out here ruining fellow citizens' lives, because they don't have any purpose. That's what there is. That's what that's about. They don't have any purpose. And the rest of them, they masking. They're parading like they got purpose, and they need all of the Delta flight, and they need all of the gimmicks. They need all of the gimmicks. You see nonsense I hear doing. Let me put down the laptop. So I bent like, no, I don't want to go inside. No, I don't want to. Let's stay outside. But stay well, stay blessed. I am not concerned about creating some like particular type of format unless it's going to be like a two-person situation and we're having a conversation or we're having an interview or I'm being interviewed. But when it's just one of my videos, just like the many other lovely women that are here on YouTube, it's like some of them you just want to hear them talk, because that is just thus saith the Lord. That's just that inner flow. That is that water running out of them. That is that blessing that they're blessing you with. That is their intelligence that they're choosing to share with you, right? It's just so much free game and just wonderful insight and just description of things in a way that you probably never even thought of before to describe it that particular way, right? So all of this, believe it or not, even if it's not in some form of matriculation, you are taking the time to educate yourself. Right? You want to make sure that you are that you have clarity on things, because it is going to shape the way you navigate in the world. Now, if on one hand, you're not leaving and you're not going anywhere outside of your town, you're not going to the next city, you don't go to the capital city, you're not traveling, now you're not getting food, like you're not doing anything, then it may be hard for you to understand what it is I'm saying. But you need to know that you can take up as much room as you want to take up. Be where you want to be. And don't let nothing hold you back. Nothing. Not a father. Definitely not. Right? Not even your children. Focus on you. Focus on you and go to places that you've always wanted to go. That's what I want you to understand. That's what I want to share with you. And for me, because I have taken that time to do that, it has allowed me to have really beautiful conversations with wonderful people all over the world. All over the world. Let me tell you something. If I didn't travel, I probably would be a whole man hater. Now, you see how close that bird flew? He's feeling wild. Look at him. I'll be a whole man hater. And the reason I can choose to stay above the fray is because I have been fortunate enough to meet individuals that are not damaged by the social distraction that is definitely out there to damage folk and our people and the people from your community and my community. Okay. People where their artistry is important, whether it's pottery making or being a chef and cooking. Like, I've met just so many wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Sometimes you got to leave your neighborhood and your country and your town and your city and your village and your clan to go and have those conversations. So you could be reminded that you know that you know that you know. And to talk to other people who are just as serious about their experience in this season, in this life, in this realm we're in. I love how the veil is coming down. I love how things are just being so exposed. I love it. Because it's going to cut out a lot of the pretentiousness that we have grown accustomed to putting up with and calling it life and gospel. That's how it is. That's how they are. No. Nope. That's not okay. And you will not take me for a damn fool. And you will not take this for a joke. And you will not gaslight me, think that you can get away with it, and think I'm not going to tell you who you are to your face. What is that? Like, you have to get just so honest about everything. Because if you don't, you are going to die in that pink glass bubble, thinking that life is just only that, and that it's fine, and not realize that the life is being snuffed out of you. Anyway, I'll speak to you guys and look forward. I have an amazing video to record. It is a letter to, I say my children. It's not just to my children, it's to all of our children. It's to all of our children. Children of Africa, children of Asia, children of India, you know. And it was a write-up that I read in a travel magazine, and a very important woman from India, she wrote it. And when I was reading it, it was sucking me in. I was writing notes in there. I was underlining stuff. It was like, I was going back and reading things over and over. I love when I come across great literature. It's just sweet and soft, right? Sweet and soft and to the point and real and pure and deep and all of that. It's just all of that goodness, right? And I knew where she was coming from because, all right, I spent so much time in India. I'm aware. I know why she's speaking the way that she's speaking, you know? But I knew that all of that is the same advice that our children in Africa need to hear. So I'm going to read it and, ode the love letter, and I'm going to, cite her and I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. I was able to like get a mom. She was on the plane with me one day. I don't remember where I was traveling from, and I showed it to her. I was like, I said, you need to read this. Have your little daughter take it home. And I don't know. I guess they felt like they couldn't walk. They couldn't leave with the magazine. So she took a shot. She took an image of the page. She spent some time reading it. She took an image of the page. Hopefully she finished reading it. If it was not for other women caring about what happened to me, because you got to remember, right, the timeline. I'm not a small girl. And we were not in the information age back then. We were in the like, this is what's happened to me, this is my reality. Oh, this sister, she has something similar. Okay, we could talk about it. Pair bond, right? Trauma bond and all of that. And mothers did not even understand what a ride they were being taken for back then. Like, not one woman from my mother's era has a successful relationship to talk about. Not one. Not one. So we could act like this situation is not as widespread as it really is, but it is. It's really horrible. And there were women that came into our lives. Some of them were like, distant family, friends, or whatever the case. Some were neighbors. And those lovely exchanges with women that saw themselves in me and had a consideration towards me, it helped to shape me even to how I am today. There's not a baby that I could come across and they want to talk to me. I am here for the conversation. You hear me? Ain't nothing a baby want to tell me, and I'm not gonna listen. I don't care whose hands they're in. I mean, I even talk to the adult they with, right? Because they be wanting to talk to me. See, that's what people be hating. See that stuff right there. People hate when children love you and animals, want to be gentle and be around you and stuff like that. I go to show you how horrible a lot of humans are and how tortured their souls are and stuck in these avatars walking around here. A lot of them are walking dead. It's quite sad. It's quite sad. But if we stay in a place of gratitude, accepting where we are, and not being worried about having the same hairstyle as somebody else or whatever these things look like, everything will be fine. I think these are jumping spiders. These spiders, they jumping. Like, you're wondering, like, how did that spider end up here? Maybe it's a coconut. It's a big coconut tree. Alright. Take care of yourself. And, and stay loving. Alright? Namaste. Namaste.